Hi everyone! Today I will try this new watercolor brushes for Procreate. It's called Impossible Watercolor for Procreate 5. This is by Drifter Studio Printshop, as you can see. So I have two screens in front of me. On my left is Google Chrome, and on the right side is my Procreate screen. Okay, so today I feel like drawing some feathers. So I actually saved an image of a feather. There. So this is a peacock feather. Okay, and I'm so amazed at how beautiful it looks. There's something about these little things in nature that's just very beautiful and inspiring to try to copy through art. So I'm gonna zoom that out just to appreciate it more. So there are greens and blues and browns, and, you know, the blending of the colors is just beautiful, and I will try to copy that. This is actually like my second time to use this watercolor pack. I also have other watercolor brushes in my library. So you can see I have Vivibrush also, and I love using this as well. This is very easy to use. I love VV Procreate brushes, if you can check that out. I have VV water brushes and the VV pencils, which is like my most favorite pencil brush. This one is the color pencil sharp. It's my favorite pencil brush. So this Impossible Watercolor for Procreate 5 is this one here. There, it's aquarelle brushes, and it comes with a bonus set as well. Okay, this watercolor pack, I learned that you need to have this layer up. So I have like files of the same layer saved in my gallery, so I can always use it. So I just duplicate it so I have a base to work on each time I want to use this watercolor pack. What do I mean? So it has these set base. So it has your paper background. Okay, and you can also do the no background option if you like. This one has this beautiful texture, as you can see. It's kind of like a watercolor paper texture. And yeah, it has several paper textures there, but I don't want to touch that because I'm really not familiar with this part of the pack. I don't know if I can tweak it or choose other paper backgrounds. Maybe I could, but for now I want to just use this one, the one that's built in the brush. So here in this layer is my feather, and it says paint here. This also comes with a pack, and if you can duplicate it so you won't, you know, lose it. This is where you're gonna paint, because if you paint on a different layer, it won't have that effect of the watercolor. Okay, so let's begin. I'm gonna start with a pencil. So this is how I usually work, like you would with analog tools. I like to start with pencil so I can sneak a thing for free, and I won't be afraid to make, you know, mistakes. I can always erase this. I'm trying to copy the strokes of the feather. So this feather that I have has like wavy parts and somewhere in the tips. I just find feathers like super cool. I just learned that birds have really unique feathers, right? So there. So I'm kind of satisfied with what I have in here. The thing about Procreate, you can always delete, click undo, and it's very forgiving compared to real paints. So I got the pencil layer here, and below it is where I want to add the colors. Grab the colors So since this is generally brown, I'm gonna start with the lightest of brown. So probably here, there, and adjust that one. Because with watercolor, you always want to start with light shades. Because you can always make it dark later. But with dark, if you start with the darker shades, it might be hard to make it, to lessen its lightness. Smooth brown is the first brush that I'm gonna try. Okay, so with this brush, that's the interesting thing. It's just like the real watercolor. If you use a light stroke, you can really achieve that, light texture, light shades. So at this point, I'm just adding some more browns, darker shades of browns for the shadows. I left some of the spots light. So I'm adding the greens now. And this is the hard part. Because feathers are like, they have this glow. They look iridescent. It's like it shimmers. I'm adding the blues now. So the peacock feathers have like these eye spots. They look like eyes. And I read somewhere that they serve the purpose of scaring their predators away. They're like big eyes, right, that stare at you. So, if you look at the peacock, they have lots of feathers with these big eyes. I'm gonna color drop this reddish brown in the middle. And just fill that in. And I'm now using the water blender brush to soften the edges and the tips of the feather. And see, as it blends with the other colors, it looks more natural, just like how a real watercolor brush would behave. Yeah, I like this blender a lot. It's like my magic one. So using another fine tip brush, I'm adding some of the feathers. So the feather strands, what do you call it? I want them to be more visible. These are really thin lines, so make sure your tip is at the smallest point. So here I'm just adding some more washes of color to make some of the areas darker. And I'm almost finished. And just keep on blending those hard edges. And see, here's a close-up of how it looks. I really enjoyed making this. And there you go. So I will be making more feathers. These ones are owl feathers. I also grabbed the photo here on the left side for inspiration. Yeah, the soft part down there is golden down. So I'm using a pencil here to just draw the lines. And again, I'm working on the lower layer for the colors. Light brown shade as base, and just blend it with a blender brush. And here's a darker shade of brown for the stripes. Using the fine tip brush, the spots around the tip of the feather. So I'm basically just repeating the steps by adding these darker shades in the middle of the feather and then blending it in to the sides using the blender brush. And here's another feather. This is a darker one in the middle that I'm trying to copy. So again, I'm using pencil as my first base. And the darker brown. Again, I will just blend this in using the blender brush. How that would turn out. So for the third feather, I like a blue one. Let me go look for one. So these are owl feathers. Let's close up. Okay, this is the blue feather. I will try to use another style to draw this third feather. It's actually my favorite style. So I try to combine paints with pencils to add more texture and to give it a more natural look. For this one, the base is watercolor, just like the others. But for this one, I'll be using pencil. So as you see, I am using sometimes blue colored pencils to add more lines, or gray, light gray for the down. Here I'm looking for a blue shade. Here I'm adding some of the lines to give it more texture. I'm just adding some lines. I'm almost done with this one. I'm just adding some highlights. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Not really a tutorial, but just a guide on how to use this watercolor pack.